So former President Donald Trump facing a criminal indictment by July 4th, looking more and more likely. This as the Wall Street Journal reports that New York prosecutors assigned to the case are known for their aggressive pursuit of evidence. Trump maintaining this is all just a witch hunt. Joining us now to discuss is former Trump campaign advisor Roger Stone, who is also the host of Get Stoned. Roger, good to see you. Thanks so much for coming on here. Man, familiar with a lot of some of these things here. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office looking closer to handling former President Trump an indictment. You've been a subject of similar prosecutions. What is this about? Do you see these indictments actually playing out for the former president?
Well, I fear that I do. In fact, I think the president is about to go through precisely exactly what I have been through. That is to say, a fabricated indictment for political purposes, a jurisdiction where he is guaranteed corrupt prosecutors, Cyrus Vance Jr., notoriously corrupt. I'll be talking a lot about that this week at StoneColdTruth.com. Most likely a jury that would be hostile because it's in Manhattan. This isn't about the law. This isn't about politics. Anytime you take a man's entire business history, 40 years of records, and you comb through them looking for a crime, there's no probable cause. There is no crime. This is a witch hunt. This is a politically motivated investigation based on one thing: fear that Donald Trump will be on the ballot again in 2024. He certainly beat them in 2016. We still have a controversy that's in wide discussion in the country about 2020. They're afraid that he'll come back and beat them again. That is what this is about.
The other thing you think about is just all the businesses that Trump owns. His name obviously everywhere. Everyone knows him. Can this legal battle, something like this, bankrupt the former president? Would that even be possible?
Well, look, the president is a billionaire, and he knew what he was getting into when he ran for president. He didn't do it for the money, certainly didn't do it to be universally loved. He did it because he loved this country.
I think we might have lost Roger's audio there and his feed. But again, talking about these possible indictments expected by July the 4th, as reported by the Wall Street Journal. We're back live now with Roger Stone. We got you back connected here, Roger.
Right.
What we're talking about is Trump being a billionaire. What is the likelihood that these indictments could really hurt the former president financially?
I don't think that will happen. First of all, the president didn't run for president to make money. He certainly didn't run to be universally loved. He knew the dangers here. He ran because he loves this country, and he didn't like seeing what was happening to it. Donald Trump is, above all, a fighter. And I think the American people are going to see through the entire political motivation of any charge that is brought. Now, when I said this in a couple interviews last week, the headlines is Roger Stone predicts Trump to be indicted. No, what I said was he would be charged on fabricated charges that are politically motivated. I call it Witch Hunt 3.0. It's exactly what it is.
Fabricated charges. Can you elaborate on that? What do you think those charges would be, and how would they be fabricated?
Well, leaks out of the Manhattan prosecutor's office, I think, have already told us this. For example, they're going to claim, according to a story I read on the AP, that the president overvalued certain assets while borrowing against banks. Well, the banks get to look at an appraisal. The banks know he has a history of repaying his loans, but that's a perfect example of where they would smear the president in a politically motivated charge that wouldn't be leveled against anyone else. Look, they fear Donald Trump. This is about 2024. That's what it's really about. They don't want him on the ballot, so they want to damage him politically. I've lived through this, where you have a hostile and corrupt prosecutor, where you have an unfriendly and hostile jury, and fabricated charges. It's a nightmare. Well, my chips are on the president. He's a fighter.
The other question about it is the timing of it all. He didn't just get into the real estate business, and it's all happening and unfolding at this time. Before you go, there's a couple things I want to ask you about. One is this whole boat parade Trump supporters had on Memorial Day. Were you a part of that? How was it?
I was. In fact, I was actually the Grand Marshal, and I must tell you, it was one of the most exhilarating, exciting, appropriate things I've ever seen. There were literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boats of all sizes with the intercoastal waterway on either side with hundreds of people waving American flags and pro-Trump flags. This was not about Trump. This was about Memorial Day, where the president's statement was moving. I mean, was presidential. And I don't think President Biden said anything appropriate at all. So this was really one of the most historic, one of the most breathtaking things I've ever taken part in. It was a great tribute to those men and women who gave everything so that we could even be on this show and talk freely in the American way.
Roger, as you know, you're a controversial figure. But despite any of that, no controversy here. I want to talk a personal note with you. I understand your wife has been diagnosed with cancer. Is that correct? How is she doing at this time?
Well, she actually made the boat parade yesterday. First time she's been out since her diagnosis about 10 days ago. You know, I think this is the manifestation of 3 years of stress, 3 years of being pursued by a political prosecution. But she's doing well. You know, the prognosis is unknown. She has not yet decided on the course of treatment, but she has to do that very quickly. Folks who want to help us can go to stonefamilyfund.com, stonefamilyfund.com, because frankly, while what little insurance we have left post-Mueller should cover her medical treatments, we have no money whatsoever for natural or homeopathic treatment, which we both believe very deeply in. So thank you for asking, and God bless you for bringing it up, because I do want to tell people precisely what her situation is. She's in excellent spirits. She's a fighter. She will fight this both medicinally and spiritually.
StoneFamilyFund.com. That's right, if they wanted to help you out.
That's absolutely correct. Thank you.
You got it. All right, Roger Stone, good to see you, and best to you and your wife. I appreciate your time.
God bless you, and I hope you had a great Memorial Day.